All right, bruh podcast, BRUH podcast.com. It is welcome to season 2, episode 1. The man, I haven't heard that theme song in a while. I haven't heard it in a while, and I haven't realized how ridiculous that theme song is. I mean, spicy tales from France to Japan is what that line says. So, the boys are back in town. I have to say this, man. This is my theme for 2026. Stay in the pocket. Stay in the pocket, Tone. That's my theme for 2026. I saw this dude on Facebook, and he is my life is now. My life. I'm giving my life. I think his name's Trey something, and he's this dude, and all he does is work out. He does like the chin, like he does these workouts, and his theme, and he's got T-shirts and everything, is stay in the pocket. Like if you want to go to the fridge, which I do this, like in the middle of the night, you want to get a bowl of ice cream, stay in the pocket. Don't go to the fridge.
All right.
You want to have another drink. You've had 5. You're slurring in front of the kids. Stay in the pocket. Don't get out of the pocket. So that's my advice for 2026. Tony B, how you been, man? Happy New Year. Welcome to season 2.
You caught me off guard. I didn't know we were picking word of the year. I love that.
Stay in the pocket, man. Yes.
Oh, it's similar. It's similar to my
SITP.
Yeah. Oh, there's an acronym?
SITP, man. I'm telling you, it's what you can listen to every BS, New Year's resolution and do this and do that. I think his name's Trey, and I'll put him in the notes. But he is this dude. I think he was in prison for like 13 years or something. He comes out and he was in the pocket
for real.
He got me this one time. He said he posts like every hour too. I mean, he's like he said he was at a Wawa, which is that's if you're from Philly, of that area, you know what Wawa is. It's like a Sheetz. It's like just a gas station. And he had like a half a dozen donuts. And he said, "You're a donut. You're shaped like a donut." And he's spiking them off the ground. And he's like, "Why aren't you doing 20 push-ups? Stay in the pocket." So stay in the pocket for 2026, Tone. That's my
Trey.
Trey, I think his name's Trey. I'll put it in notes, but he is. Shout out to Trey, man. Stay in the pocket. So what about you, man? How's that 2026 rolling?
It's good, man. I was just about to say, like, you reminded me, and I think I'm in sync with you. Besides my delay here on my camera, that's not quite in sync. But this isn't my real job. This is part-time right now. I don't know if you knew that, but my real job, we did some business planning, and my boss was like, "Hey, pick a word of the year." And you know what I picked? I wasn't saying stay in the pocket, but it was
maybe change it now.
I know. Yes. No, but it was 2 weeks ago. Locked in.
Locked in is like
locked in. I know similar. It's a 2-word. It was a hyphen, so I cheated, but locked in is kind of like stay in the pocket.
I would say I would call up the boss there. I'd email her and say, "Hey, I'm changing my word."
Yeah.
And I would say SITP. And if she says, "What's that?" I would say, "Exactly."
Yeah. Better get in.
SITP, man. Stay in the pocket.
Yep.
But locked in's the same.
Yeah, nah, I don't know. LI doesn't sound as good as SITP.
I mean, my man's got merch and everything, so he's doing well.
Damn.
He's doing well.
I love that. Trey, so he's the third?
What do you mean?
The third. I always thought when growing up as a kid, I always thought like the name Trey, I'm like, oh, that Trey Hoops. Trey's a baller.
I think so.
But then my wife had an uncle, and his name is Trey, and he's a great dude. He's an attorney. And I'm like, is this guy with the tie on it? His name is Trey? I was like, oh, what's this? But I learned he was the third. He was his name, his grandpa and his dad, and he was the third. So he went by Trey. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that people would go by Trey.
All right, so his name's Troy, so we can
Oh, damn.
Troy Archer. I'm gonna give him a shout out. And first of all, he's ripped to the gills, man. He is ripped to the gills.
Good.
Stay in the pocket. That is my 2026. So
I love that. Thank you.
yeah.
Thanks for
So,
that.
call up the boss, tell him to stay in the pocket. I don't. His name's Troy. It's not Trey. Sorry about that. All right. So this is what we're going to do. So 2026. A lot of people thought, you know what, the bras, they're not podcasting. I'm not seeing anything. We were taking a break, man. We were at the Wine, Beer, and Food Festival. They put us next to a band. Isaiah Thomas didn't stop and see us. Whatever.
I was ready too. I was ready.
But we are coming out. We're coming out of our corner. We were in the. We were hibernating. We were resting up. We're licking the wounds, and we're coming out. Episode 1 of season 2. The guest that we have. Let me tell you something. The guest that we have that we're about to bring in. We're not messing around in 2026. That's what we're doing.
Nah.
Like 2025 we were on the playground. We're playing hopscotch on the playground. 26, we're bringing the heat. And I'm going to bring in our guest right now. Tone, you ready?
Yo, I'm so ready.
All right. Raphael Jones, owner of Garden District in GR. I got a little Raphael. We're going to bring you in now. How are you, my man? You doing all right?
Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Thank you so much. It is 9:22. Raphael, the restaurant is still, Garden District is still cranking, and he takes his time here with us. He's like,
I have to. I mean, two of you guys. I want to quit work and just come hang out with you guys. I don't know.
I mean, like,
same.
I don't know about your listeners, but I'm telling them right now, I'd rather do this than that.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. So if you are listening to this in GR, I mean, I'm sure Garden District this is no surprise. This is nothing new to you. If you're listening to us somewhere else in the country, I'm going to give you a little intro about Raphael, and I'm going to read a little intro. So we're going to get serious a little bit. But open in February 2025. Raphael, stop me if any of this is wrong. Garden District is a vision husband and wife team, Raphael and Jessica Jones. In just over a year, the restaurant has quickly established itself as a standout in downtown Grand Rapids, known for its bold flavors, welcoming atmosphere, and thoughtful approach to hospitality. As chef and culinary lead, Raphael brings intention and soul to every dish, blending elevated comfort food with refined technique and a deep respect for ingredients. His cooking is expressive yet approachable, rooted in flavor and designed to bring people together. Jessica complements that vision by shaping the guest experience, ensuring that every detail from service to ambiance feels warm, personal, and genuine. Together, Raphael and Jessica have built more than a restaurant. Garden District is a reflection on their partnership, their passion, and their commitment to creating a space where great food, great people, and Grand Rapids community can meet. Raphael, welcome to the Bruh Podcast.
That sounds great. I mean,
is that all good?
I'd love to Google myself one of these times because that made me happier.
Oh,
remember when that was a thing? People would say,
yeah,
Google me.
Google me. I mean,
little kids, little 10-year-old brat kids.
I think I saw that on a show today.
I fortunately had the experience of eating at Garden District. We don't, I have a 7-year-old and I have a 4-year-old, and when you have anybody who has a 7 or 4-year-old and who's not a trust fund baby, you realize that you don't get a lot of nights out. And when we started talking about this, and we're like, Raphael, man, it's getting, we want to start talking about Mardi Gras, and we want to let's get it on in late January. So then, and my wife and I took the date night and said, let's go down to Garden District. Now, I'll give you Raphael, I'll give you my experience of walking in. It's cold, like Grand Rapids in January. Yeah. It's cold. There's snow blowing around. And I'm not being dramatic. Like, it's just snow blowing around. And I'll give you my perspective because Raphael and I haven't talked about this at all. I just said, I just want to go in fresh, and then I'm going to give you my perspective fresh. I'll tell you what I noticed first was the window. There's a window, And in the window is this sort of, it's like a paper mache sort of, what is that? There's like a flower, it's like some art, there's some art
We
there,
got
not
some World of Winter displays up right now that kind of, you know, captures the seafood vibe of the Gulf. So we kind of teamed up with a couple of a couple of businesses over on Monroe Center and wanted to make sure we kept with our vibe, but then also offer something for Water Wonder. So it's some Japanese goldfish in there, and
okay.
then we kind of made it, you know, forget about that winter cold outside.
Well, that's exactly what it did, because I noticed this. You can, um, you're walking in, you're met with that brightness, and you're almost like, you're going in, but you're almost like doing a peek in when you're going in there, like you're doing a peek in and see. So the restaurant is, if and most of you in Grand Rapids have probably been there already, but I'm just going to kind of describe it. We walk in, it's sort of a longer restaurant, like it's a like the most of the tables are off to the left, the bar is off to the right, and then the kitchen's in the back, and it is an open kitchen concept in the back. So you're seeing like you're seeing everything happening there. Like it's not tucked in the back and they're bringing it out. When you're sitting there, you're seeing everything going on. Um, so my impression when I came in, and this is what I'm even talking about the food, I'm just talking about the ambiance of the place. First of all, the interior design and the aesthetics of the places. I've never been to a New Orleans restaurant. Um, and so I can't say, and maybe you can speak to that a little bit, but it felt like that you were stepping into, it wasn't like the dark kind of feel. Like what you say is you're bringing warmth to the winter of Grand Rapids is what I felt like. You're stepping in, and what I saw was a line, and I looked down, drinks are being mixed off to the right, off to the left, tables full of smiling faces, conversations going on. Like this is a restaurant that is buzzing here in Grand Rapids. When I'm walking down a very cold, I was shivering, and I come in, and then I'm met with this light. That's just the ambiance of it. You could tell that there was some time and there was some passion put into that. So talk
There's
about that a little bit, Raphael.
a lot of the elements have a lot of thought, but then at the same time, you know, when you go to New Orleans, if you've been to New Orleans, it's a lot of shotgun houses.
Hmm.
So in New Orleans, it's iconic to have those shotgun houses
Hmm.
where it is that straight and narrow, and you can see from the front door to the back door and every room, kitchen, and bathroom along the way. Like it's what people up north would kind of look at as like a trailer, I guess you can say.
Hmm.
But in New Orleans, these are houses, and that's how, you know, the houses are in New Orleans. But every element when it comes to even the chandeliers, you know, my great aunt, where I'm sure we'll talk about soon when it comes to the recipes,
Yeah.
in her kitchen, she had this crystal chandelier, and she was the cook of our family. And when you walk into that kitchen and you don't think that fried foods and sautéed meats would be underneath a crystal chandelier, that was the kitchen for us. When it comes to the pictures, all those pictures on the walls are pictures that me and my wife took from going to New Orleans, and, you know, you end up with a bunch of gigabytes of pictures on your phone where you're like, yeah, I took a picture because I've been to this place, but I really don't know what to do because I'm not going to print it off because it's digital. And
Yeah.
two, there's nowhere to put it in my house. Where when we were putting this together, we were like, oh my gosh, like in New Orleans, it's normal to have those like thrift store, you know, photo frames and thrift store like portraits and things like that. Why don't we put the pictures that we took in these frames? So all of those pictures are pictures that we've taken hanging on the walls, but then there's a lot of little tiny elements hidden in the restaurant, from family photos to where I graduated in high school in Congo Square with you know, Louis Armstrong right there. We have, you know, Moose's parade actually personally made us one of the shoes that they give out at the parade. So like it's a lot of us, but one thing you notice in New Orleans, some of the better restaurants in the Garden District of New Orleans and some of the better restaurants on St. Charles, where you have like your Chef Emeralds and things like that, you feel like you're eating at somebody's house. You don't feel
Mm.
like you're eating in an Applebee's. Like you're not, and nothing against Applebee's, but you feel like you're eating at somebody's house, and the food. your brain's open to the taste of the food now. You know, there's a lot of restaurants in New Orleans where you're like, "Where is your kitchen?" Because I feel like I'm sitting in your living room
Yeah.
right now, but you're open to getting a passionate type of meal, and when the food comes out, your palate's clean. You know, the eyes, you use all 5 senses in New Orleans when it comes to the food, and it starts with the eyes, and it starts with the sound. You walk in, you hear the music, you see the
Mm.
environment, you smell the food, you see the people having, unfiltered conversations because they feel comfortable to laugh with each other, and you don't feel like it's a bad thing to be a little bit louder in a nice restaurant.
That's interesting. I never thought about that because it is now that you say that, I've never really thought about that kitchen where you walk in. First of all, I'll say this about like there's some restaurants that I'll walk into and it feels like, okay, well, they paid an interior designer from Manhattan to design this place and it's corporate 100%. Like it just feels like over when you're there and you're running. Tony was telling me a little bit more about like I don't know all like what those stations are, but if you go, Raphael is I look at it as a sort of like he is heading that line. But you feel like it gives you that kitchen feel where it is a big restaurant, but it does feel like, when you're sitting around the kitchen and you hear the pots and pans in the kitchen, it's almost like a family dinner hearing that. Is that sort of the concept that you're thinking about? Is
That's
sort of
the
like
concept.
we're sitting there and you're in our kitchen basically.
We wanted that narrow feel, but
Uh-huh.
we wanted to be open for the fact that maybe one day this restaurant's gonna be bigger than what we think it's gonna be, so we wanna make sure we have enough seats
Uh,
for that business, but, I guess you can label it how you want to, but when I first came up to Grand Rapids and I was at college in Grand Valley, I would always do my homework at West Coast Coffee, and West Coast Coffee is the building that we were in, so I got to know the owner, Doug, when I was in college, and we would spend every day in West Coast Coffee, and I'd sit out on the patio and, he had the free Wi-Fi, so I'd do my homework and go back to Grand Valley,
uh,
and I never knew that, one day this is gonna be Garden District because, when West Coast Coffee closed down, I stopped going there, a few restaurants came in here and there, and, an employee that used to work for my wife worked at the restaurant that was there, gave her a call and was like, "Hey, I know you said Ralph and you wanted to open up a restaurant. Just to let you know, I think the owner of Monsoon wants to sell. What do you guys think?" And we were like, "Yeah, let's try it. Let's give it a
yeah,
try."
yeah.
So it was
And that's
just
where
we got lucky that we were able to find that shotgun restaurant, and then it all just started to come together the moment we walked in.
it would be completely. I'll say this, like I think that if you were in some sort of freestanding, if you were in a freestanding restaurant, like if you were like, you know, like, excuse me, Raphael, but it was like, hey, we got this old Pizza Hut that
Yeah.
we can maybe turn into some.
Yeah.
If it was that, it wouldn't feel the same. It feels like
No.
you're walking by, you've got contrast, you've got the contrast, right? And it's that when you make that turn on that street and it is that light that's blaring out of that window, and it's not like some of these restaurants where there's sort of these long strips where you can look in and walk 30 feet and then you're still walking the restaurant, and it is this sort of walk by, you stop, you look, you peek through the window. I think you guys nailed it.
I
And
mean, every
that's the
day we feel like we're in some type of like aquarium. We look out the window and there's like people standing in the window and they're like,
that's the perfect
so it's
that's exactly so this is another thing about Garden District is that I walk in there, "Oh, excuse me, I have a shellfish allergy. Oh, I can't eat the shrimp." And I'm
in
like,
a New Orleans restaurant.
I'm in a New Orleans restaurant. It's like, "Oh, excuse me, Raphael. Oh my goodness. Hey, I have a shellfish allergy. Please don't cook any shrimp around my, and so I think first of all, the waitress was phenomenal. Um, Red beans and rice is what I ordered, and it hit. But I mean, we'll get to the flavor, and we'll get how. First of all, but then Raphael says, no. Sends a gumbo bowl over, Tone. He sends a gumbo bowl over. Nat said, my wife said, I want Raphael to surprise me.
Yes.
That's
And I
what
picked
happened.
the etouffee.
So you picked the etouffee, and that was the night we got engaged. That's what you picked. So that's a cute little story there, Tone, for the.
I love that.
I told my
love
cooks
cute
about it
little
when you
stories.
guys came and said that. I was like, I chose that out of random.
Yeah. And so she was like, I trust Raphael. Send over. So she didn't even order. So that's what I'm talking about down at Garda District. Tone. It's like, Nat's like, I trust, just send what. But then, but the bonus bowl of gumbo, like, was, I'm going to say this, punch in the mouth of flavor. I felt like that I was being punched like in a good way, like a good punch in the mouth of flavor. As somebody who is 44 and somehow has not been able to make his way to New Orleans and be able to experience that sort of Cajun, I felt it almost got emotional. But I started reflecting on my life and thinking about what have I been doing to not make my way to this. So, but that was my. When you said that, it was like, this is what I grew up on. This is the food that I grew up on. That's what I tasted in there. So talk about, like, where was that? You mentioned your great aunt. Like, talk about that inspiration. Like, where did you first start to taste that and you go, whoa, what is this?
I wanted you to be honest with me, Mike. I wanted you to tell me one of those things sucked when you were there so I could take that back.
I'll take you off.
That's kind of
I mean, like, they were, we didn't even get into the cocktails. I mean, the cocktails were good. We didn't even get to the dessert. Like, we're 25 minutes in, but no, Raphael, there's nothing there.
It's, my great aunt was like us all, descendant of slaves. And, she was right on the edge of the end of slavery. They made that great migration up here to Michigan for the furniture. And her and her husband worked up here. But my great aunt was known as, the cook of our family. She could take straws and napkins and make you butter beans. Like, you'd be like, how did you even do that? She was a great cook. And growing up, we were taught the basics of cooking. We were taught the food Bible without buying that book, and taught the mother sauces without knowing the history of the mother sauces in France. So we took culinary school from birth until we were out on our own. And when it comes to Garden District, we didn't want a restaurant with cooks that overthought good stuff. Like, a lot of these chefs that create these meals are from the basis of that cooking, whether it be Southern slavery or Eastern European or Middle Eastern. It comes from a foundation. And you want to make really, really good food without adding all of the stuff where you're looking at it and you're like, wow, that's weird. Why'd you even add that to that? You want to make food that makes people close their eyes and say, oh my God, what did I just eat? And that's what the food is. So my great aunt, she taught us those things. If it didn't make somebody close their eyes, then it was crap food. Like, don't even serve it. And we would get in trouble for having bad food than, I don't know, going out and breaking a window. Like, it was just not something you could do in our household. And, the first meal I made was a ham with ragu sauce on it. I tried to make something real special for dinner, and I got a bottle of ragu because I had never seen it before, and I poured it on a ham. And my mom looked at me and she said, "You're going to eat that whole ham." Like, we're not touching it. But
by the way, coming in February, the ham ragu, right, Raphael?
Yeah,
we see
exactly.
that on the menu, right?
Every great idea deserves a voice. At Cast House, we help creators, brands, and leaders turn ideas into podcasts that actually move people. From concept to launch, from production to hosting, from consulting and editing to strategy and growth. We don't just make podcasts, we build platforms. Whether you're launching your first show, exploring how podcasting can support your brand or mission, or you're hundreds of episodes in and ready to level up. You may not know this, but the podcast you're listening to right now was produced by us, Cast House, where ideas become influence. Visit casthouse.studio and let's turn your ideas into inspiration.
But I learned. I made that ham ragu when I was 11, and it took a lot of years to get to where I'm at. But, now when I make food, it's like second nature. It's like, oh, just put this and this together. And then people taste it and like, oh my God. And I'm like, I really didn't do anything. I just did what we were supposed to do, So like, when I was talking to you at the restaurant and talking to you and Tony before, like, this is what we grew up on. So it's like second nature. It doesn't feel like we're trying. It just feels like we're doing the right way.
So with your great aunt, like, and if how much of your great aunt is in the recipes at Garden District? Like, how much of that is her?
The red beans is her technique. It's, I give credit to my brother. My brother's a chef down in New Orleans also. So like he helped refine a couple of our recipes also. And the red beans is one of those things that he just knew. And we tried it and we added a couple, things here and there to kind of really elevate the flavor, but the red beans is her. The
DNA is there. Like that's
her. The vegan dirty rice, the gumbo, that's family style, cooking. Everything else is just using the techniques of family style cooking, and we created the rest of it that you see on the menu.
Yeah. I mean, you can when you're there, because if you're there, so I mean, what do they call that when I learned that what do they talk about? So like whoever's running I was watching a guy who had a GoPro video. What do they call that when you're running
Expo?
the tickets? Like, is it Expo? Like, who's the guy? What do
Expo.
they call that when the guy is at Expo? Like the guy who's just sort of like.
So Expo is the quarterback. He's the head coach.
He's the quarterback. He's
calling the plays.
Yeah. So Raphael's there calling the plays. Now, do you this might get a little too deep, but do you ever, like when you're ever there running Expo, do you ever just sort of get flashbacks of sort of being in the kitchen there with your great aunt? Like, do you ever get that sort of like, do you ever feel her, maybe it's more of a spiritual question, but do you ever feel her just sort of like watching it? Like, I'm assuming she's passed on. I'm assuming that. Like, as great aunt usually, but do you ever feel her just sort of like
she's still working the line?
We got her down there now. Who do you think's working the line now? Like
why the red beans so good?
Yeah, that's her back there doing prep. Yeah,
but do you ever just take a break and take a pause and reflect and just say like, like she's like giving you that sort of hand on your shoulder? Do you ever get that, or is that am I making this too spiritual?
No, I think it's perfect. I think my chefs feel her more than I do, because the attention to detail is there. So we have a ton of tasting spoons back there, so that pretty much everything that comes out that kitchen, we're looking at it as it go. Even if somebody sold 10 etouffees in a row, every single one of those etouffees we're looking at. Every time we make a jambalaya, somebody's putting a spoon in there and tasting it and making sure that it's right. When I'm in that expo window, the chefs are like walking up, kind of like, here you go. And I'm like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? And they're like, let me just do this. And I'm like, all right, sweet, perfect. All right, let's sell it. You know what I mean? They feel her more than I do, but I think she speaks through me.
I could say so. Almost the chefs are almost like 11 years old as well. Like, wait, we don't want to. We want to make sure that our great auntie is is happy with what we're working. Like it's almost like you have somebody else working that expo. Like it's almost
Yeah.
like your great aunt is working it.
I mean, my family and friends come in, and the ones who were around when my great aunt were, was with us, and they're down to tears. They're like, "Oh my gosh!" I feel like my great aunt fed our whole neighborhood. Like when she cooked, everybody in our neighborhood came to our house to eat. So we would sit on the stairs to the basement. In the summertime, we'd sit out on the stairs on the front porch while the adults ate at the table. But every single house on our street ate at our house for dinner. And she would make big amounts all the time. And, when my family comes in and they taste it and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like, I have guests that come in and they'll start crying and they're like, they'll call me over to the table and they're like, hey, your server told me it's okay to call you over here. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And they're like, I'm crying because I'm a kid again. I feel like a kid again.
Damn, dude.
That's it.
That's so cool.
That's it.
That's
I mean, that's the you. That's, I guess that hits like, like that's when you hear that makes it all worth it. Like that's amazing. Now here's the thing, Raphael. This is where you're gonna get like now the questioning gets into sort of, Italian southwestern Pennsylvania, because this is what I don't get about. So this is where the question takes.
Whoa.
Go,
Did you just reference yourself as Italian?
That's the way you call
Italian.
it.
Italian. Yeah, Italian. After a few more of these Kirkland whiskeys, it's a Italian. So, but this is what I don't.
I say Italian, but I know Italians call it Italian.
I've heard a few in the South. I used to work sales in the South, and I used to get called a high Italian. So, but this is what I don't get about. We'll call it Creole Cajun. All right. So Tony sent me some notes on this Creole Cajun. Now
I want to ask you about your gumbo specifically. Do you
go ahead, Tone, and then I'll.
Are you like traditionally in one lane, or is it yours? Like, are you tomato in there? Are you Creole? Are you Cajun with it? Tell me, because this is not my area of expertise. I had some French technique, whatnot, but so I'm in the lane, but not at all in New Orleans, not at all. So tell me about your
in New Orleans.
Your style.
What I've noticed up here in Michigan, which is weird because as a kid, I put chili on a hot dog. I put chili on, walking tacos. Up here, chili is a meal to you guys. And everybody has their version of chili, and everybody has their, oh my God, I can't believe you put this in chili. You know what I mean? Or, oh my God, that's not chili, that's ketchup. And I hear these people, which, by the way, we had a chili contest down in downtown Grand Rapids that we won.
I bet. I mean, obviously, right?
Just a couple months ago, we made a New Orleans chili, and we won it just to prove to Michigan people, your chili, calm down on your chili.
Now, you're going to cause that.
People get real passionate about the chili.
No, get it.
Down in New Orleans, it's the same thing with gumbo. So everybody has their gumbo. You have your seafood gumbo, and you have your gumbo yaya. Gumbo yaya is land animals, so you don't add seafood to it. And then the seafood gumbo obviously is the seafood. West Africa is where okra comes from. So a lot of gumbos down south will have okra. I personally, my grandma makes okra gumbo. I hate okra gumbo. I don't like slimy, weird gumbo. Now, Creoles use tomato in their gumbo. Cajuns use mud bugs. Like Cajuns, the difference between Cajun and Creole is a condo living and apartment living. Like the Cajuns, they use what they had. The Creoles use what you were going to make for them because they were paying for it. So like Creole can be very bougie at times. My gumbo is a Cajun gumbo yaya. It's land animals just because people in Michigan have shellfish allergies every now and then. So down in New Orleans, you wouldn't be able to survive with a shellfish allergy. So it's easy to do
Yeah,
a
that's
seafood
right.
gumbo down there because everybody eats it. So up here, we wanted to make a really, really good gumbo. And I love tomato, but when it comes to tomato and a gumbo, doesn't make sense to me. So I keep it Cajun. I have Cajun gumbo yaya. I have a lot of people from New Orleans that come in and they get upset. Oh my God, how do you not have okra? Or, how does your gumbo not have tomato? And most, chefs would be like, oh my God, am I doing this right? But I look at it in the lens of Michigan people. If you had a chili restaurant, you're gonna have a lot of people that come in there and say, "Oh my God, how do you put this in your
Yeah,
chili?" It's gonna happen.
you're always gonna have that. You're always. I will say this: that gumbo. I mean, like when you talk about the closing, like when you say that closing of the eyes, and you say that,
Yeah.
like if there was a camera on me when I again, Raphael, take this from somebody who's just, I really enjoy food. Like I really enjoy it. And I've never had anything from New Orleans. I've never had any of that because of the shellfish allergy. I've kind of stayed away from it.
Yeah.
I will say this: if there was a camera on me, it would be the same reaction as an. That's when I hate that
It
gumbo.
was. I noticed you and your wife. I was in the kitchen and I was like, he's gonna have a good night tonight. Because I noticed when you guys first took your first bites, you both kind of paused. It was like, we.
Again, take these questions as sort of Southwestern Pennsylvania Italian.
Yeah.
That's winter food to me, though. Gumbo, red beans and rice, that's winter food to me. And it's so hot in New Orleans. So how does that cuisine balance in the summer?
And that's the good thing about New Orleans. Like, you're 100% right. We know in the winter, our red beans, our gumbo, our yakamine is gonna sell really well. But in the summer, like, blackened fish is what it is. Barbecue shrimp is what it is. Sassy salmon salads. We know in the spring everybody's gonna have their New Year's resolution full pump, and New Orleans has some of the best salads you could have out there. You have your iconic red beans, etouffee, and gumbo of New Orleans, where people go to eat that stuff. But you're 100% right. People in New Orleans don't eat that in the summertime, but it's available
Yeah.
all the time. I mean, red beans you eat all year. That is
Yeah.
I just want something good. But yeah, gumbo, you're not thinking about gumbo in the summertime. You're thinking about something that's, refreshing, something that's gonna not make you think about how hot it is outside. New Orleans offers a lot of those menu items, and some of those menu items are on our, menu, and we do the features, throughout the year, and the summertime features are based off of people are about to eat some gumbo. It's still gonna be our top seller this summer, but right now you would think we only sell gumbo.
Well, speaking of menu, that's what's going to get us the next segment. Because we're at 42 minutes here, just to keep us on track, boys. And so
Michael
we
even
have
cut out some of what I
Yeah.
sent him because he was like, "Oh, we gotta stick to the time."
Oh,
We're
no,
gonna hit that
all right.
tangent button.
no, Raphael, I honestly, my passion is this kind of conversation. Like this is when I hear this, and I know Tony is because Tony is. I mean, he lives and breathes this kind of shit. But speaking of, this is a libation station, which I'll play our theme song. We have a little theme song for every segment that we do. But
Okay.
the surprise here is that we're pulling a little jujitsu move on you since you are a head chef, restaurant owner. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get bro on the menus at restaurants. So this is libation station, and also, will you put it on the menu?
I'll call it libation station.
So we're gonna say like what we're trying to do here is we think we've got a good shot Tone, what's the angle we're pulling here? You got some sexy angle going on here. What's going on?
I don't, just trying something
Fresh
new. We've done a
squeeze.
top down. Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Top down, bottom up.
Yeah.
Top down, bottom up. All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
legs work over.
Yeah.
What's that, ludicrous? Legs jerk overwork.
All right.
Underpaid,
So
but
this is
don't
what we're
be
gonna do.
afraid.
This is Libation Station. Will you put it on the menu? First of all, I've already talked about kind of what I've got going on here. I've got your Kirkland. I think this is Crown Royal, but it's the Kirkland Crown Royal. I've got a lime and caffeine-free Coke because COVID won't let me drink caffeine anymore.
Exactly.
Raphael, what are you drinking tonight, my friend?
Tonight, straight Jameson.
Oh,
Nice.
Straight Jameson.
Nice.
straight Jameson. Okay,
Not
I don't want to
that.
ruin his legacy with anything.
man. Is that on an ice cube or what do you got there? What do you got, like a ice, or what are you just reading that neat, or what's the?
That was neat. That was neat.
Just
I like
sip
that.
there.
That's
Little
my
bit.
style,
It's
dog.
a sipper. It's a sipper.
Now, Tone. So, go ahead, take the stage here.
Yeah, I know. Like right now, it's this angle, and that's all you're seeing. I just started going. I put in some. I'll tell you. You're gonna guess what it is as soon as I bust out the next bottle here. So
I hope so.
what I've added. So what I'm trying to do here is
I'm gonna give you the
elevate-
camera. Raphael, I'm gonna give him the whole camera here. So
Okay.
go ahead, so you can see.
Oh, is that how that works? Okay. All right. So here's my next ingredient. I'm just gonna put it there. You already know what it is. So by the way, I'm not a disliker of Midori at all. But you see how not empty this bottle is? Because I don't ever use it. I actually didn't even have any on hand. But you know what? You know what's famously Midori is in? And we talked about this, I don't know, a month ago when we first met. Are you feeling me yet?
The hand grenade.
Yeah, but the hand grenade, when I learned, so I researched it. I researched the hand grenade, and I'm like, the hand grenade is not the most, like,
Tony,
it's super off balance. It's super off balance.
Back that mic down a little bit. You're coming in hot.
Okay.
You're coming in hot. You're coming in hot.
Well, I've been quiet. how's that? How's my,
I know, but you're coming a little hot. You're good, brother.
I'm better now? You're
You're
All right,
good.
So,
You're good.
the hand grenade is not a well balanced cocktail. By the way, we met Raphael about a month ago, and he mentioned, Michael's like, hey, so what are the New Orleans like cocktails? Raphael mentioned the hand grenade, and I was like, I don't even know what that is, but Raphael, correct me if I'm wrong. You go around, like, that's where you get out on the street, kind of like you're in Vegas. You get the big plastic thing, and they fill it up, and it's a strong ass drink. It's kind of like in the lane of like where you have a Long Island where there's a bunch of liquor in there, and it gets
Yeah,
you,
it's like a condensed 3 times batch of a Long Island. It's
yeah, okay.
pretty
So
heavy.
my attempt here was to use really essentially the main ingredients there, but to make it more of a balanced cocktail. So in this cocktail, the main ingredient, like really, it's a green drink. It's Midori, so melon liqueur. And then there's vodka. By the way, I'm using local Stock the Bar from my
Stock
guy.
the Bar,
yeah.
Stock the Bar. Yo, for sure. There's vodka. There's white rum. I'm using Havana Club, Puerto Rican rum. Bacardi,
Tony
whatnot.
Montana. You got that?
Okay.
You got that Tony
All
Montana.
right. And I had, and also in there's pineapple juice. I toned down the pineapple juice. I think pineapple juice. I also toned down the Midori because there's like too much Midori in the regular one. And then I upped the lime because we just need the lime to balance this out. So the Midori's sweet, but I did add a little, like, essentially a bar spoon of cinnamon syrup. I just think that this cocktail needs a more depth to it. And I added some tiki bitters, which doesn't call for in the original. I'm not doing anything mind blowing here, but I'm trying to elevate this drink. Okay,
Yeah.
so far
real
so
quick,
good.
Raphael,
What's up?
just so you're. I mean, go ahead, Tony. I don't mean to interrupt you, but real quick,
No, you're good.
Tony, in the research of the hand grenade, he's recently divorced because he's been testing out hand grenades.
Oh shit.
Okay.
No, but that's funny. All right. Right now I'm just doing a whip shake. I added a little pebble ice. really what I'm trying to do is create a little froth here and dilute it just a little bit. And you know what I don't have, Raphael? So I was looking on your menu, on your drink menu. You don't have a grenade.
Oh,
No,
we
it's
do
not.
not. I don't think
So
that's legal
Michael,
in Michigan.
whip shake, you're adding usually like crushed ice, pebble ice, just a little bit, and you're trying to create like a frothiness to a cocktail with a whip shake. So that's what
This angle's giving me a frothiness. Don't.
Yo, bet. All right. What I don't have, Raphael, is I don't have a hurricane glass. I had
Okay.
one, but I think you serve this in a hurricane glass. So I'm just doing an open pour here. So we've got this green color so far. All right. What I didn't add yet is gin, but it's about to be. So here we go. Let me get some pebble ice up in here. You hearing my sweet sounds, Michael? Look at that. I don't even
Man,
fit in
I'm
this
telling
drink.
you, it's all there's 5 senses here, man.
The the gin is typically just mixed into this drink, but I thought it'd be just cool because you already have this on your menu. And Michael, we remember when we had Brenda on from Trader Joe's.
Yes,
She
Brenda's-
was drinking the Empress.
Yeah.
So Empress has butterfly pea in there, which it's a layer of flavor in the gin already, but like it also has a this property. I don't know what it's science, but it changes colors. I'm just gonna layer this right on top. So a little bit of I probably need to add a little more. This is my second time only making this drink.
Okay.
Sir,
I went light. I wanted to layer it, and I'm not even using a spoon, but I wanted to have a little bit of a color change here, and then we were gonna
give it a little spin.
address this.
How about a spin?
Hold on. We go pretty.
What?
it up. We
What?
got
Whoa! Whoa!
some
Whoa! Whoa!
pineapple
Where'd you get
frost.
that at?
Some frost.
What is that, Tone?
A little guy here, little dehydrated lime wheel, make it pretty.
That's a beautiful, beautiful drink.
Yo, and then here, you don't even know. Look, I brought like a little
Look
guy
at this
here.
guy.
Yeah.
What do you got there? What do you got?
So
The garnish?
I can't wait to see the
Yo.
drink cost on this.
Yeah,
fam,
Tone. Raphael's got to run a business, my man. This is beautiful. But my man's
this-
running a business.
you have all the things. The Midori ain't expensive.
Mhm.
You have all the
Mm-mm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
There's our cocktail.
There it is. And what are we naming that, Tone?
And so I was just thinking, because it's Michael was like, let's do a Michigan. I'm like, I love Michigan, but I'm like, then what am I gonna do? Add cherries or apples? And it's gonna go too far
Yeah.
from it. I just thought it'd just be the GD grenade,
GD
for
grenade.
Garden District. The GD.
Oh,
grenade.
GD. I'm sorry. GD.
Yeah, nah, because it ain't
I was
brand.
gonna say,
It's
goddamn.
the garden.
I thought that goddamn. I thought that's what you were saying.
Goddamn. So,
It's Garden District.
by the
Okay.
way, I did make the original hand grenade, and fine. It's just like, okay, you want to get hand grenade.
Yes.
This, I swear to God, adding the tiki bitters, toning down the Midori, toning down the pineapple. I love pineapple. I honestly, I don't think that the vodka has a place in this. Vodka's cool, but it's not adding any layer of flavor. It's just adding potency. So I use like a half ounce of vodka. I use 1 ounce of rum. And then I did end up using a whole ounce of gin just because I wanted to make it have a little bit of that color change. So that's it. And then, but honestly, having the bitters in there, there's a depth of flavor. The cinnamon syrup, there's only a little bit. It's not really upping the sweet so much, but it's got a little bit more. There's some spice in there. It needs that. And this is honestly, it's really good at this point. This is not I drink neat tequila, neat whiskey. That's my go-to wine.
Okay.
But I love to make cocktails, and this is an upscale grenades.
It's a very strong possibility because there's some really keys.
baby.
There's some key things in there I like. I like the Mardi Gras colors you got going on there. That purple hits. You can use that base as close to a gold, and you got the green on top. So you're hitting Mardi Gras right there.
In a hurricane glass, though, right?
I would use it in a hurricane glass.
Yep.
I would definitely,
Facts.
switch that up.
Yep.
I'm nervous about the name GD, just because
I wondered.
gang
GR.
affiliation.
Just
I don't
go
want, I would go with the bruh. Like in New Orleans, they say
The
bruh.
bruh grenade.
Shit.
So just call it the
I
bruh.
like that.
And that's got a New Orleans, twist to it. We have the indigo gin. You send me that recipe. We're doing some menu
All right.
changes, and
right,
I
so
think
this
my
is what
wife
I'm
will
hearing.
put
Tell
that
me.
on there.
Yo,
If you're okay with me calling it the bruh and putting it in the daiquiri
Dog,
or a hurricane
I was
glass.
trying to. I wondered about GD. I didn't know.
Yeah, GD
But-
was a little.
Yo, but I love that, dude. You can call whatever you want. I just honestly, when we met and you talked about the hand grenade, I was kind of fascinated, and I was like, yeah. But then when I first tried, I'm like, nah, that ain't it. I'm just not. That's just not my lifestyle right now. But then we upped it, and it is pretty, right? That is pretty.
Yeah, you don't want your
Good.
wife to come and see you tongue out, laid out in a recliner, passed
No.
out from a drinking
But does
test.
that? I mean, I feel like that. I'll go.
This is really good, straight up.
That's what I mean. It feels like, but Tone, what you have to the grenade is a grenade, so it has to. If you drink that whole thing, it has got to hit you like a grenade. Will that?
Oh, yeah,
Do the
dude. Because
job?
like generally, if I'm making a cocktail, it's probably 2 ounces of the hard liquor. You know, like, and this has 3. I mean, like I said, I toned down the vodka. I kept the rum the same. I toned down the Midori, but then I have the gin. It's like there's like 2.5 ounces really of plus the Midori. So it's it'll hit you up. But like, it's not the hand grenade.
We got the flavors, the